Thank you very much. It is a great honor to be able to stand before you this evening to accept this recognition. But really, I want to express my deep, deep admiration for the work of this organization as evidenced by what we've seen here this evening on stage, the presentation, the students that we heard from just moments ago. I also want to congratulate Judge Marjorie Steinberg for her distinguished service, exceptional career, and her acceptance of the Lloyd M. Smith Award this evening. I want to acknowledge my good friends and colleagues who are here from Edison International and Southern California Edison. Thank you for being here this evening from Edison. And in particular, Leon Bass, who is a colleague at Edison who serves on the board of CRF. Thank you, Leon, for your leadership. And I want to thank my wife, who is with us here this evening, for her continued support in everything that I have ever undertaken. I'll never forget the moment when I called her and told her that we had been nominated to serve as a U.S. ambassador, and we were going to have to move from California to Rome, Italy. It was a difficult decision for her. But a few days ago, I had the opportunity to attend an EHI program, and I've got to tell you, I was deeply moved by the enthusiasm and the intellectual curiosity demonstrated by the students in that room. The quality of the instruction, and that instructor is here tonight, and the response of the students would make all of us proud. And for me, frankly, it took me back to my youth. You see, I'm a descendant of a migrant farm working family. I was the first in my family to graduate with a college degree. My grandparents came from Mexico in search of new opportunities with hopes and dreams and aspirations for a new life in the United States of America. And despite our poverty, we were taught to always believe in ourselves and to draw strength from the example of others. Some of those others were people that we knew, and some we read about. CRF has been a source of strength and a well of knowledge for over 50 years. And through its K-12 civic education, it has been touching the lives of many and informing youth who will lead our state and our nation in the years to come. And although I do not have the personal benefit as a young person of CRF programs, I did have civics and world history teachers who inspired me to learn and to never fear the public arena. In fact, they did such a good job that I ran for office in the 10th grade and won a seat as a school board trustee in the city of Orange. And then a year or two later, I was elected governor of California Boys State by young men who represented the entire state of California, and eventually elected to be a Boys Nation senator, and tragically was the losing candidate for president of Boys Nation that year. But nevertheless, the experience has lasted a lifetime. But I have to confess that a major highlight for me came on the day when I was sworn in as a U.S. ambassador in the Benjamin Franklin Room at the State Department in D.C. And attendees, Senator George McGovern and other U.S. ambassadors, Secretary Condoleezza Rice, were all in attendance. But to me, the greatest hero in that room that day was the man who was my world history teacher, Norman Seiler, who gave me the guidance and the impetus to look beyond the boundaries of my community and see a bigger world. And that's what CRF is doing, creating opportunities for young people to learn, to dream about the future, as evidenced tonight in the words of students from whom we have heard who have great aspirations to achieve great things in careers of the future. Civic engagement, community participation, and developing a voice that counts is key in our society and a cornerstone of our democracy. Several years ago, a good friend of mine called and asked if I would join him for lunch. He wanted to introduce me to his godmother. I, being a good friend, said, yeah, I'll accept, and I'll see you in a little while. Walked into a small dining room of just 6 people, and I made eye contact with his godmother. I was surprised to learn that his godmother was Rosa Parks. For the next 2 hours or so, I hardly said a word. I just did a lot of listening. That day I learned a powerful lesson about change and the power of one person. I learned that you don't have to be the loudest voice to be heard. Rosa Parks was very soft-spoken. I learned that you don't have to be the tallest or the biggest person to affect change. Rosa Parks was a petite woman, about 5'3", but I could sense a strong and determined spirit in Rosa Parks. She never sought the limelight, but the circumstances and conditions around her inspired action that changed the course of a nation. And she was quoted as saying once, "Each person must live their life as a model for others." CRF's work is serving as a model that youth and others can emulate. CRF is teaching young people how to engage, how to find their voice, and how to build a better community and a stronger nation. This is a cause and a purpose that we can support and celebrate as we are doing here tonight. Thank you for what you do in support of CRF, and thank you for this very special honor. Good night.